everybody, it's Ms.Salazar and welcome to reading. So for today, we're going to be reading a story called My Family, and you have this story in your textbook and it starts on page 39. So here's an essential question. This is a question that, we have to answer as we're reading the story. How are families alike and different? So, how are families alike? Let's see. Well, I know that some families have a mom and a dad. Um, I know that some families have, a brother and a sister, but some families are different. Some families, they have only a grandmother and a granddad, or just an aunt and an uncle, and maybe a sister, maybe no brothers. It depends, okay? But this is a question that we're going to answer as we're reading the story. Now, this is your vocabulary. This vocabulary is in the story, and here you have the vocabulary words with their definition, and they are also used in a sentence. So let's look at the vocabulary word number one. It says remembered. It means not forgotten. For example, Maria remembered his birthday. Remembered, not forgotten. Vocabulary word number two, porch, an outside place with a roof that leads to the door. And here you have a picture of a porch. It's an outside place, it's outside with a roof that leads to the door. And here you have the doors. Here's an example. I like the porch of my house. Let's go to vocabulary word number three, crown, something special worn on the head. For example, little Leticia put on a crown to dance. Here you have a picture of little Leticia, and this comes from the story. Vocabulary word number four, spend. Give your time to do something. So when you spend, you give your time to do something. For example, we spend the rest of the days in the backyard. Stuck. Stuck means not being able to move. For example, most of the time my hook gets stuck on a rock. So when you're fishing, it's also like fishing can be a little bit difficult. But when you're fishing, most of the time your hook can get stuck on a rock. So that's what this word means, stuck, not able to move. Let's go to the vocabulary word number six, visit. Go to see someone. So when you visit is when you what? When you're going to see someone. For example, Grandma Marta comes to visit every Sunday, and you guys probably visit your cousin every week, or you visit your grandparents every week or every Sunday. Let's see, let's go to vocabulary word number seven, cousin, the son or daughter of an aunt or uncle. So, for example, Grandpa Rigoberto danced with cousin Marisabel. And do you guys remember the family tree that we had to do? And you guys had a picture of your aunt, a picture of your uncle, and then a picture of your cousin. So, a cousin is either the son or a daughter of either your aunt or your uncle. Let's go to the last vocabulary word, piano. And a piano is a musical instrument. For example, Aunt Darlene plays the piano, and this picture also comes from the story, and same goes for this picture. This picture also comes from the story. Informational text. Okay, so what is it? What does this word mean? Informational text. So, an informational text gives facts about a topic. And when we're going to read this story called My Family, this story is true. This family is real. So when a story is true, when the characters and what happens in the story are true, then that is called informational text because it gives you information. Everything that's in the story, all of that information is true. Those are called facts. Now, this is the author of the story. His name is George Ancona, and an author is a person who writes the story. So, George is the author of the story. He wrote the story, and here we have a picture of him and a little paragraph that talks a little bit about him. It says George Ancona is often asked if he keeps in touch with the people he photographs. Photographs are what? Photographs are photos. So he takes pictures of random people. The answer is yes. So he does keep in touch with the people that he takes pictures of. Not long ago, he heard from the father of the young boy he had photographed for Pablo Remembers. So he wrote another story about another family and he took a picture of a boy. And it seems that, let's see, it says Pablo, now grown, was getting married. Mr. Ancona went back to Mexico for the wedding. So it looks like this guy, George, he takes pictures of random people and he writes stories about them. And it looks like in one of his stories, he was able to get in contact with one of the boys that he took a picture of. And it looks like he still keeps in touch with the people he takes pictures of. And he went to this guy's wedding. That's pretty cool. If you have a stranger take a picture of you, and then 5 years from now, you see that person again, you see the guy that took a picture of you, and you invite him to your wedding. That's kind of random, right? So that's what happened. Now, this is the story, and it's called My Family. It's found on page 39 all the way to page 52. This is in your textbook, and you're going to need your textbook for the class, as well as your pencil and your notebook. So, here we have the first page of your story, My Family by George and Kona. And here you have the essential question: how are families alike and different? So on page 40, it seems that the story starts and it says, I am Camila. I live in Miami with my mother, Damaris, my father, Roberto, and my brother, Rene. My mother came from Cuba. My father came from Puerto Rico. My mother and I go to school together. That's because she teaches Spanish in my school. When we are at home, I like to help her cook dinner. That's nice. I like to help my mom cook dinner too. Sometimes, when my grandma Marta comes to visit, remember, visit is a vocabulary word, and all the words that you see with the yellow, like the yellow line that's highlighted in yellow, those are vocabulary words. So let's see. It says, sometimes when my grandma Marta comes to visit, I dress up and put on a show for her. Today, she is teaching me a song. It goes like this. There once was a sailor at sea who liked to play the guitar. When he remembered his faraway land, he picked his guitar and started to sing. On the high sea, on the high sea, on the high sea. Okay, so that's a nice song. Rene is my little brother. Our friends and family come to the house for his birthday. We play games, eat, and sing happy birthday to him. Here is my family. Grandmother Marta and grandfather Rigoberto had 4 children. Almost all of them came to Rene's birthday party. And here you have a family tree. It's the same thing you guys did. You guys did a family tree. It looks a little bit different, but this is also another way for you to do it. So Marta and Rigoberto are her grandparents. Marta is her grandmother. Rigoberto is her grandfather. And who are we talking about? We're talking about Camila. Camila. So Marta is Camila's grandmother and Rigoberto is Camila's grandfather. And it looks like Marta and Rigoberto, when they got married, they had 1, 2, 3, 4. They had 4 kids. And then they got married and they had their own kids. And here we have a picture of the family. Grandma came with Aunt Maria, Irene, and Victoria. Uncle Andres came with Victor and Marisabel. Aunt Martica, Uncle Miguel, Gabriela, and Leticia came too. Soon the house was full. Wow. So people started coming in. And they started coming in because it was Rene's birthday. We played many games. Aunt Maria Irene showed us how to play hopscotch. Little Leticia put on a crown to dance. This is little Leticia with the crown. And for those of you that don't know, hopscotch is called what? Hopscotch is a game. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show it to you guys in class. Hopscotch is a game, and you know the game. It's really, really fun. I'm going to show you guys in class. It says, Grandpa Rigoberto danced with cousin Marisabel. So here we have Grandpa dancing with cousin Marisabel. On Sundays, we got to church with Grandma. Then we all go. to Aunt Martica and Uncle Miguel's house. After lunch, we play music and sing. So the entire family is in her house. The entire family is in her house, in Aunt Martica's house. And they're all just, playing instruments and singing. That's nice. Sounds like a lot of fun. Uncle Miguel plays the double bass. Oh, or double bass. Some people say bass or bass. Uncle Andres plays the violin. Aunt Darlene plays the piano. Victor plays the clarinet, and Marisabel plays the flute. We spend the rest of the day in the backyard. The grown ups play dominoes while Uncle Andres tells funny stories. Gabriela and I sit on the porch and paint pictures. So here we have the grown ups, they're playing their own games, and then here we have the kids, and they're doing their own thing. They're doing something different from the grown ups. And here is the last page of your story, page 52. What I like best is when Papi takes us fishing. Most of the time, my hook gets stuck on a rock. I can't wait to catch my fish. Wow. Okay. So this sounds so nice. I know that my dad and we used to go fishing. So, you guys, here's the thing. We're going to read the story in class. We're going to discuss it. You don't have to turn anything in, there's no work for today. We're just going to focus on the story, okay? So make sure to bring your pencil, your notebook, and your textbook. And that's about it. Okay, everybody. Bye.